Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're diving headfirst into a book that, honestly, for decades has absolutely rocked the world of personal finance. I'm talking about Robert T. Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yeah, that's classic.
Right. And we're not just going to summarize it. We've got key excerpts. And our mission, well, it's what we always do, extract those surprising nuggets of knowledge, the deeper insights about money, investment, and really how we can maybe reshape our entire financial mindset.
Yeah.
You probably know the central premise revolves around the author's unique experience with two profoundly different fathers and their contrasting approaches to money. So what's the real genius behind this book? Okay, let's unpack this.
Well, it's fascinating because this book, published way back in 1997, it really did more than just explain finance. It fundamentally challenged the traditional wisdom most of us absorb, from childhood about wealth and work.
Right.
It didn't just add to the conversation, it sort of reframed it entirely. It set a completely new stage for how to look at your economic life.
And that reframing, it starts with Kiyosaki introducing us to these two powerful figures. There's his poor dad, that's his biological father, highly educated, conventionally successful in a salaried job, but with a traditional, almost cautious mindset about money. Then there's his rich dad, his best friend's father.
Oh.
Now this man, less formally educated, was a shrewd businessman, driven by a philosophy of wealth creation that was just completely alien to most people back then. It's a striking contrast.
It really is. And the striking insight here is that these two aren't just characters in a story. They represent two fundamentally opposing financial paradigms.
Okay.
Kiyosaki masterfully uses their contrasting advice, their life choices, to illuminate these really distinct paths. One path keeps you on the rat race, as he famously calls it, perpetually trading time for money.
Yeah.
The other path, well, that helps you build true financial freedom. This foundational concept truly underpins the entire book's philosophy. It's core.
And it leads us directly to one of the book's most maybe provocative core messages. Don't work for money, make money work for you. We all hear that phrase, but what does it really mean in practice? Kiyosaki really hammers home how most poor and middle-class individuals are kind of caught in a cycle, exchanging their time and labor for a salary, becoming, utterly dependent on that paycheck.
It's a powerful distinction, isn't it?
Yeah.
The insight is that the rich fundamentally shift their energy. It's not just about working harder.
No.
It's about building systems, acquiring what he calls assets that generate income passively, whether you're actively working or not.
Or passive income.
Yeah, think of it as moving from being the laborer in the field to owning the field itself. This is that critical shift from labor to leverage.
Labor to leverage, I like that.
And, in today's gig economy with automation, AI coming in, that shift becomes even more crucial.
That's a really good point. Building on that idea, then, of making your money work for you, Kiyosaki introduces a cornerstone concept, one that, honestly, most of us completely misunderstand: the true nature of assets and liabilities. He kind of assumes, the basic accounting definitions, maybe, but his genius was making the concept incredibly simple, almost brutally so.
Yeah.
He challenged us to look beyond what looks like wealth, the fancy car, the big house, and ask, is this truly putting money in my pocket, or is it actually a drain?
Exactly. And this raises an important question about how we perceive our purchases, and maybe how our education or lack of financial education has shaped that perception.
Right.
Kiyosaki argues a crucial mistake many people make is buying things they think are assets, like a dream house, when financially speaking, they're actually liabilities.
So the house isn't always an asset.
Well, not in his definition. If it's primarily taking money out of your pocket each month through mortgage, taxes, upkeep, that expensive car, that big house, you can maybe barely afford, they're often consuming your cash flow rather than producing it.
Okay.
Understanding this distinction is, for him, the fundamental difference between the financially struggling and the financially free.
Yeah.
It's about looking past the appearance of wealth to the reality of cash flow.
That real insight about where our money is actually flowing, it often gets completely missed in traditional education.
Yeah.
And Kiyosaki, well, he isn't shy about critiquing that, is he?
Not at all. He argues that traditional schooling, it teaches us how to earn money through a job, how to be good employees, but it completely misses the mark on teaching us how to manage that money, let alone grow it.
So the real insight isn't just that we need financial education, it's maybe why the system is set up this way and how challenging it is to overcome that ingrained bias towards, say, job security over financial freedom.
It's so true. The necessity of financial literacy, as Kiyosaki sees it, goes far beyond just, saving a few dollars here and there. It's about truly understanding how to read a balance sheet, grasping the flow of money, learning fundamental investment principles.
The real mechanics.
Exactly. It's about equipping yourself with the knowledge to make informed, independent financial decisions, rather than just relying on an employer or some institution to secure your future.
Speaking of decisions, another key idea is not to fear risk, but to, well, learn how to manage it, The Poor Dad always warned against losing money, right?
Yeah.
Promoting a very cautious, almost risk-averse approach.
Yeah, play it safe.
But that often leads to inaction, doesn't it? Just paralysis.
Precisely. And Rich Dad offers this really powerful counter-advice. The goal isn't to avoid risk entirely. Nobody can do that. It's to learn how to invest without losing money. Or perhaps how to minimize loss significantly.
Okay, how do you do that?
Well, this isn't about being reckless or just gambling. It's about acquiring financial intelligence. It's about doing your homework, understanding the market, and making calculated risks that minimize potential losses and maximize potential gains.
So knowledge reduces risk.
In a way, yes. It's education, empowering confident action, rather than fear leading to paralysis. He has that great line, "The single most powerful asset we all have is our mind. Using it to learn is key."
I like that. So instead of shrinking from risk, you learn the rules of the game, almost like a financial martial art or something.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
And this naturally leads to the idea of consciously growing your income sources through business and investment. The book really highlights the insecurity of relying solely on a salary for your entire financial life.
Absolutely. The rich mindset, as he presents it, is all about creating multiple income streams.
Right.
And we're not talking about just picking up extra shifts or getting a second job necessarily. That's still trading time for money. It's more about strategic investments in real estate, maybe building businesses you own or leveraging other financial vehicles that generate income independently. It's about building a kind of financial fortress rather than a house of cards that collapses if your main job disappears.
That makes sense. Stepping back a bit, a lot of the author's broader teachings seem to point to this central truth, that true wealth isn't just about working harder or even earning more salary. It's the direct result of making smart, intentional financial decisions.
Yeah.
It's almost a philosophy of life, isn't it? More than just finance tips.
It really is. The book draws such a stark contrast between what it terms the poor mindset, which primarily seeks security, often through a stable job, avoiding debt at all costs.
Security first.
Versus the rich mindset, which actively seeks out and creates opportunities. It understands that calculated risk is actually part of growth. It's a completely different orientation towards life and money.
And Kiyosaki also emphasizes how the rich benefit significantly from understanding tax laws and other legal framework.
Oh, definitely.
Allowing them to make more efficient financial moves that the average person might not even know exist. It's almost like they're playing a different game entirely sometimes.
That's a huge point in the book. And tied to that, a really strong recommendation he makes is the importance of teaching children about money early on.
Yeah, get them young.
Exactly. This proactive financial education can help them develop that rich mindset from a young age, potentially avoiding debt traps and making much savvier investment choices later in life. It's about trying to break those generational cycles of financial illiteracy.
Okay. Now, like any, widely influential book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, has its undeniable strengths, but also some limitations that are, well, important to acknowledge.
Absolutely. No book has all the answers.
On the strengths side, it's incredibly simple and story-based, which makes it remarkably easy to understand, even for someone who's maybe never thought about financial concepts before.
Very accessible.
It offers a truly practical, almost street-smart perspective on money. And for many, many people, it genuinely has the power to fundamentally change their entire view on money.
I agree completely. Its power is in its accessibility and that motivational kick it gives you.
Yeah.
It gets you thinking differently. But its limitations are also pretty clear. While it excels at providing foundational principles and shifting your perspective.
Which is huge.
It is huge. But it doesn't really delve into detailed investment techniques or specific actionable strategies.
Yeah.
The how-to.
Right. It's not a manual.
Exactly. It's more of a philosophical guide than a technical manual. So for listeners looking for a detailed how-to for, say, stock picking or analyzing a real estate deal, well, they definitely need to look elsewhere. It's like a fantastic compass pointing you in a direction.
Okay.
But it's not the detailed map itself.
That's a great analogy. Okay, so to recap our deep dive into Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the core message seems clear. Becoming truly rich isn't solely about earning more money. It's fundamentally about effective money management, making smart, often counterintuitive investment choices, and consciously adopting a distinct, proactive financial mindset.
Yeah, exactly. And this deep dive, I think, is particularly useful for anyone actively seeking financial freedom. For those of you looking to move beyond that very traditional study hard, get a good job, work for a salary way of thinking.
The poor dad way.
Right? It's a radical challenge to the status quo, really.
Yeah.
And it pushes you to rethink your relationship with money entirely.
So the final question then is, what does this all mean for you listening right now? Consider Kiyosaki's core challenge. Are you working for money, or are you figuring out how to make your money work for you? Look at your own life. What assets might you already have, and think broader than just financial ones that you could leverage to generate more income or freedom? And maybe on the flip side, what liabilities might you be unknowingly acquiring? Not just financially, but perhaps in terms of your time, your energy, or even your mental space.
That's a powerful thought.
It's a powerful framework for self-assessment, I think. Definitely something to think about. Welcome back to The Deep.